can't tell what kind of tanks they are. It could be propane. They very well could be propane tanks. Looks like maybe an oxygen tank there as well. Another blue canister. So a number of chemicals that may be in the back there. Have no idea, but obviously that's going to, obviously be a concern for law enforcement when this comes to an end as well, or at least raise the stakes. God forbid he gets into a major crash. I think they were involved in something entirely different. They probably have no idea that suspect just passed them. We're still not far from the 110 freeway. It raises a flag for me. The fact that he had plenty of room to work with. I mean, traffic in the direction he was going on the 110 was fairly light, and he jumped off the freeway for no apparent reason. It's very difficult sometimes to get into the head of somebody who's driving like this or running from police. And in this case, I don't even know, does he still have that unit behind him? In this case, he doesn't even have a unit behind him. He's still driving extremely recklessly, which, by the way, is apparently how this all began. He was driving very erratically, very recklessly. Bell Gardens police tried to pull him over, and the pursuit began, now going on about 45 minutes at least as we make our way, again, through Highland Park. We haven't really left Highland Park. We kind of ventured into South Pasadena a little bit. We made our way through San Marino. But continuing north now on Avenue 65. So we'll see what he decides to do here. I just have a feeling that all of these turns that he keeps making are pretty aimless, pretty random. I don't think he has a neighborhood or a destination in mind, just based on the driving that I've observed of here. As we now end up on the 210 freeway here, northbound 210 is pretty light, a little bit heavier on the southbound side, but if he continues on the northbound side, it looks like it's pretty wide open as we head up towards Latuna Canyon. Traffic is pretty light all the way through here. Still in the number 2 lane, still doing about 90 miles per hour, up to about 80 to 90, and slowing down a little bit now, but definitely a much preferable situation. If CHP can catch up with him here, this will be a very manageable situation for them. They can create a traffic break and then kind of ride this pursuit out up the 210 freeway. It raises so many questions. There's so many different reasons why people run from the police. We don't have to go through them, but what the situation is here, really peculiar, just based on the erratic turns. And by the way, CHP has now re-engaged the suspect, but for no reason at all, making turns off of major roads, off of the freeway for no reason. This time he was on the 210 freeway, went off the 210, got on the southbound side, and now off the 210 here at Lincoln. Again, there's no way he has business in any of these neighborhoods, considering that we started in Bell Gardens, and he's done the same joyride through several different cities, several different neighborhoods, some residential neighborhoods, some major thoroughfares, but the driving just seems so random and so aimless. You've got to wonder what the mental capacity is behind the wheel. Probably not a gang member going on a joyride, but you never know. It just seems like somebody who's obviously has no intention of stopping for police, and somebody who's having a hard time calculating the maneuvering of this vehicle. He's having a hard time calculating the turns, the speeds, the braking. The handling of the vehicle is really causing him some trouble. The faster he goes, another oh no! Oh no! We're right into a driver's side of that truck. Oh, that was so fast. That was so fast. Oh no. Oh no. CHP's right there. CHP is right there. They're going to get him out. They've got to get an ambulance out here right away. LA County overhead. We've got only the one CHP unit behind him there. They only had the one that was able to keep up with him. That unit did such a great job getting off at the freeway, but that was a violent crash. That was terrible. Again, we're at North Orange Boulevard at Holly Street, right along the 210 freeway. That's the 210 overpass that you're looking at on the top left-hand corner of your screen. I cannot stress how violent and how fast that happened. That was the worst case scenario. That's the nightmare situation for law enforcement. And this guy has just got somebody really hurt. Oh. Let's push it on the driver. On the driver. The pursuit driver. It looks like he's complying. He's got his hands on his head. He's got his hands on his head, but they can't do anything until they get him into custody. Ambulance is obviously on the way out here, but they're not even going to be able to approach him until backup approaches. He's not going to be able to take this guy into custody until backup arrives, and then they'll be able to let the ambulance in to check out the victims inside that other vehicle. But it's going to take a little bit of time. Time's so precious in a situation like this. But the closest units still a little bit of a ways away. We were just talking about rush hour traffic. Here comes another unit to help him take this guy into custody. Hopefully they can all approach him here in a second. Take him in. That's going to be Pasadena Police and California Highway Patrol on top. So the SUV is CHP. That car that just pulled up is Pasadena Police. The suspect now proned out at gunpoint. They're going to approach him, I would imagine, pretty quickly here because they want to get to the driver and passengers in that other car as soon as possible. Go over. Let's go to the car. Somebody's approaching the car, so we've got a civilian now approaching the car to check on the driver of that looks like maybe a Toyota. I can't tell for sure, but now CHP coming up on the vehicle, and they'll be able to attend to whoever was in this car. What a tough hit that was, directly into the driver's side door. Want to be real careful here. That's going to be the airbag that's blocking our view, so we'll see if we see some movement coming from the passenger side here. If they try and, sometimes in situations like this, the driver's actually knocked out, put to sleep by the airbag, and then will wake up kind of stunned and shocked about what happened. But we'll see. It looks like the CHP officer, it looks like he may have been communicating with the driver, but we'll see here. We'll see. Pasadena firefighters now checking out the driver. They're going to try and extricate the driver. It might be tough to open that driver's side door, so they're going to go through the passenger side here and start working on that driver. So we'll stay with this and watch to see how they do here. But that driver's side door obviously so heavily damaged that they've got to use the passenger side. Looks like they're opening the back door as well, maybe to get some more firefighters in there. Not sure if there's anybody in the back seat, but it doesn't look like it. Here come the jaws of life. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and take another look at that crash. Go for it. You're right. It's true. It's true. It's so rare. We just had the one yesterday in Van Nuys. I mean, I can remember one a couple of months moments ago over on the west side where that person on a scooter was struck. But, these, for some reason, they tend to get lucky enough and have enough sense to stop at times. Sometimes it's a matter of luck. In this case, though, he wasn't braking, he wasn't slowing down for any of these lights, any of the stop signs. There were so many close calls, and it was really just a matter of time. And unfortunately, it just happened to be that split second as he came up on this intersection approaching the overpass at the 210 freeway, just slammed right into the driver's side of that car. I mean, usually it's just out of self-preservation they would slow down or hit the brake or swerve or try and avoid a potential collision. But he just was speeding like a bullet right through this intersection. I can tell you that the driver is alone in the vehicle. He is conscious and breathing. Pasadena Fire now attending to him, and that's a good sign. So we'll see the ambulance pull up here in a second, and they hopefully will be able to get him out. Right now, one of the challenges is going to be getting him out of the car. I think both the driver's side, passenger, and front doors were so heavily damaged. That may be why they have the jaws of life ready to start, maybe tearing the roof off of the car or tearing the doors off. But accessing him right now is one of the bigger problems. That's why they're going through the passenger side on the right side of the car. But it does look like the driver is conscious and breathing. The extent of the injuries, obviously unknown. Fortunately, as you mentioned, Mark, a newer vehicle with lots of airbags in there, and they all went off, and that may, in this case, have very well saved a life. While we go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the crash as he came through the intersection. We'll go ahead and rack that up, and you can see as he approached the intersection, there was traffic on the right there. He had this intersection that was a red light, and that driver just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's exactly, you can see it right there, right at about 53 miles per hour is where that collision took place.